we believe DeFi is a niche use case. And this niche use case almost reached the plateau. We have an existing community of 1 billion users. That is the Telegram user base. And we put crypto into their pocket. And now DeFi is EVM and can only be EVM, at least for the upcoming few years. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Cannes. Thanks to the team for inviting us to have this speech. So I'm Marco. I'm the co-founder of TAC. Previously working in Consensus, spent all my life in the Ethereum ecosystem. I used to be the co-founder of Linea. And since 1 year ago, I left Linea to join my co-founder Pavel building TAC. And I also left the Ethereum ecosystem, moving into the TON ecosystem. It was a big move for me. So today, I would love to go over our plans for our go-to-market on TAC that is purely focusing on DeFi. So for the people who don't know what is TAC, TAC is a network extension for TON blockchain. TON blockchain is the official blockchain recognized by Telegram, directly integrated into the Telegram messenger. But the issue with TON is that TON is not EVM. So following back on the topics that was discussed before, this is a huge breaker when it comes to scaling up the ecosystem, onboarding developers, and bring utility to a network, especially on a specific area that is DeFi, because DeFi requires EVM. So what we did was, okay, let's try to bring EVM compatibility to TON blockchain. And this is feasible on TON because TON is highly scalable, is based on sharding, is asynchronous, with native account abstraction. So it let us do some tweaks on the TON infrastructure that let every transaction goes on TON, triggering EVM code execution onto a different EVM execution environment. And in our case, this EVM execution environment is a Cosmos EVM chain. So we joined the Cosmos family. So we are onboarding DeFi to TON. We are onboarding blue chip DeFi protocols and blue chip assets from Ethereum mainnet into this EVM execution environment, making them available to TON. But what does it mean? Like, do we believe that 1 billion users on Telegram will use Curve, or will use Morpho, or will use Euler Finance? It's a bit difficult. We believe DeFi is a niche use case. And this niche use case almost reached the plateau when it comes to users. It's not going to tap into the more normies retail people. They are not going to swap tokens or lend and borrow their asset on a decentralized app. So what's our plan for this to happen? It's using Telegram as a distribution channel. Like, we see a lot of discussion about onboarding 1 billion users into crypto. We are here taking another direction, the opposite direction. We have an existing community of 1 billion users, that is the Telegram user base, and we put crypto into their pocket, focusing on the distribution, not focusing on speed, performances, latencies, that is all the meta that we have today in the market. We focus on distribution. And we leverage Telegram, that is the super app. Why it's a super app? Because you have messaging, you have a network effect that is very important when it comes to distribution with 1 billion users. You now have payments, because each one of you within Telegram, you already have pre-installed in Telegram a wallet, a TON wallet. It's called a Telegram wallet, actually, that works as a wallet with stable coins, with all the assets on TON, and let you get into the crypto world on the TON blockchain. And last but not least, there are the mini apps. Mini apps are actually our distribution channel. Many people yet don't know. Like, I discovered this only 1 year ago. But Telegram released the mini app framework. It's extremely interesting. It lets you drive a fully fledged mobile app within Telegram without having to download a new app or things like this. You just create a website using all cool features like HTML5. There are even Unity if you want to build a game. It's like building a website, but you attach behind the bot name into Telegram. Every user out of 1 billion users on Telegram can just type the name of your bot, or you can share into groups, and it will open up a fully fledged mini app, just like mobile app that you can download. But in this case, does not require any download. And this is extremely powerful. And in fact, an ecosystem of mini app is already emerging. There are many types of mini apps available already. There is a quite good discoverability. It's called Telegram App Center. There is the bot name in case you want to see it. And there are different types of mini apps. So there are ranked by number of monthly active users. There are apps that are more niche, like management mini apps, that let you manage your Telegram channels, sponsorship, advertisement, or utilities. There are crypto mini apps that are, of course, not mainstream at all, like DeFi mini apps or trading or meme pads. Maybe someone a bit more used was meme pads, like Bloom. But the more you go up in the stack, you go into the consumer angle. And that's when things becomes very interesting. You have games mini app, very successful on Telegram. You have prediction market, wagering, shopping mini app, like the original template mini app from the Telegram team was a sort of Burger King mini app. It's an example, of course, but it's to tell you the power of this type of technology. So why this is linked to DeFi? When I used to work in Consensus before Linea, I used to be part of the Beats dev team of Consensus. And back then, MetaMask was struggling with monetization. MetaMask was making no money. Then, at some point, the team decided to add swaps into MetaMask. And that was the moment when MetaMask transitioned from being a tool into becoming a distribution channel. Because MetaMask was used by 25 million monthly active users, making zero revenue. They attached the swap into the wallet. In 3 years, Consensus made $330 million of revenue, just by taking a cut on every one of the swap done by the user. That means the power of the distribution, because the money made by Consensus was just the tip of the iceberg. Every swap was aggregated into an aggregator, executed on a DEX, and the LPs providing liquidity into that DEX were making money with the fees generated. So adding swaps into MetaMask started creating value across the stack, providing value to everyone. And that's the power of the distribution. Now, on Telegram, we have many mini apps that has more or less the same amount of users of MetaMask. So our goal here is to bring DeFi primitives on this EVM execution environment with quality asset, of course, that can create yield opportunities. And then we want to tap into these consumer mini apps to basically have them play the distribution role. And this makes terrible sense because the response that we had from the top grossing Telegram mini app is huge. Because mini app developer struggle with revenues, struggle with monetization. Same of MetaMask back then. They make money from advertisement, but the cost to acquire a user on Telegram is less than $1. So the advertisement revenues are not so big. They make money selling in-app item, but the cost of selling an item with a conversion rate of 1% is aligned to the market. So they don't make a lot of revenue. So we are, with this approach, giving this Telegram mini app developer a new way to make money, a new channel, coming from the distribution angle. And the primitives we are focusing on for the distribution are these three: swaps, borrow, and yield farming. Of course, I will not go into the details of what these primitives are, but we prepared a few examples. So the first one is how do we distribute yields? We have a mini app that implements a game with 10 million monthly active users. Today, they have something like 1.2% of conversion rate for people that buy premium items within the mini game. What we are doing with them is let's create premium features like Game Booster that are not paid, are free for all the users that lock some liquidity. So users come, they lock 10 USDT, and as long as these 10 USDT are locked, they get this Game Booster. All this liquidity goes into a DeFi vault, like Veda in this case, and execute strategies on the DeFi that we are implementing on our chain, generate a yield, and the yield goes back to the game developer. And the game developer can decide to share it back to the user or not. What we are doing here, a user, a normie that don't know anything about crypto, goes on Telegram to play a game. And they don't know, but on the back, they are investing into a high-yield DeFi strategy, generating some revenues. That's the power of the distribution. The game developer take a cut, in this case in the yield generated. And the result is that we are distributing DeFi in an abstracted way to the retail user. That's the way to, in our opinion, go mainstream. Second example is Borrow. There is another mini app we're working with. They sell Amazon gift card. It's pretty much like Bitrefill. Probably most of you are familiar with Bitrefill. What they do today is user go there, they pay 5 ton, the mini app developer Nazi dump the 5 ton on StoneFi to get USDT and buy the gift card. What we are exploring is why don't you offer a buy now, pay later option, where the user, rather than paying 5 ton, has the option to put 6 ton, lock it down, and postpone the payment. What is happening is that on the back, there is an integration where the 6 ton goes into a collateral to borrow the USDT to buy the gift card. What does this means is that it creates demand for organic activity or borrow. Because if many users go into this direction, there will be a lot of borrow pressure that will bring up the yield for the infrastructure itself, for the entire ecosystem. And then there's the typical swap example. We'll not even go over that, like it's very simple. Many mini apps require many apps require tokens. Many times user don't have these tokens. So we are working with many of these mini apps to integrate swap aggregator. It's like the MetaMask use case. They basically take a fee, take a cut on every swap performed by the user. So conclusion, I hope we are on time. DeFi is EVM, in our opinion. It's just a matter of risks, you know. When we started talking with Morpho, with Euler, even with other Pendle or Curve, they were all interested in tapping into the Ton ecosystem because it's a new ecosystem with new users. The issue is for a team that grow on the EVM side, going on a non-EVM chain means trashing away the entire track record. And track record in DeFi is the most important thing, is the proof of time. I trust Curve because Curve is there since years. If Curve needs to rewrite the stack into the func-C, that is the language of the Ton virtual machine, basically I cannot trust it again. I need year to trust it again. So in our opinion, now it's too late, and now DeFi is EVM and can only be EVM, at least for the upcoming few years. And also, it's going to be a niche use case. We don't believe that EVM is going to be a real retail use case. So in our idea, we need to start talking about distribution for DeFi, because the number of users is almost plateaued when it comes to DeFi. So we need to start going other ways to find how to bring more activity into DeFi. And in our case, in our idea, we can leverage on consumer apps that we have on Telegram. That is a very nice, ecosystem. That's it. If you have questions. Do we have time for questions? Please.
Why did you build on Cosmos versus one of the existing EVM?
That's a great question. So we needed an EVM execution environment. We were looking at Ethereum layer 2 at the beginning. But looking into that, we are a Ton project. So by building an Ethereum layer 2, it would have created too much dependency from Ethereum itself. You know, like it's secured by Ethereum, but it's the DeFi of Ton. So we needed a sovereign layer 1. And there are no alternatives. You know, we are trying to reduce as much as possible the risks. So we are onboarding blue chip apps, blue chip asset. We need the blue chip infrastructure. And Cosmos stack is the most battle tested. Then there are other two reasons. It's the good balance between performances and decentralization. And the other reason is Babylon, because we are going to be one of the BSN from Babylon. So we are going to be Babylon secured. And that was one important driver for us to go on the easy path, opting for Cosmos.